there, Capricorn, and welcome back to Boneco Tarot. And here is your general reading for July 2020. I must apologize, though, because when I set out to do all the videos for the solar eclipse solstice report, I didn't realize that that the eclipse was going to take me out. So I basically had to reconstruct my whole life as a result of the eclipse, and that's okay because I actually feel pretty grateful for where I am right now. Even though it was a pain when it was happening, I'm good. So now I'm going to be able to move and shake and get my videos up as soon as possible. So I also figured that instead of finishing that, I would just move on to July and hopefully get ahead of the game at some point as I learn to make this channel work. So thank you so much for your patience. So Capricorn, what can I tell you about the astrology right now is that Mercury retrograde is the big deal for everybody. But in the grand scheme of things, does it really make all that much of a difference? Really, with the lockdown and all the craziness that we're seeing everywhere, there's a lot of review going back, etc., etc. So, so basically, you've got Mercury retrograde happening in the same house as the solar eclipse. So you may have had events on the solar eclipse that are matching the themes that you're working through right now. So where was all of that happening? In your 7th house of relationships. So your relationships, your closest relationships, both personal and business, are being scrutinized right now and reviewed and being brought to a clearer point in your life. There's no avoiding the relationship stuff that you're going through right now. So the other thing that I also wanted to bring to your attention is that Saturn has been in your sign for the last 2 years, but as it now moves into Aquarius, I mean, it's moving out of Aquarius and back into you, but it kind of, in that year span of the transition between signs for Saturn, it moved out of Capricorn at the end of March. It actually coincided with the lockdown pretty close. And one of the things also to remember is that you also just had the nodes of the moon, lunar nodes, change from Cancer and Capricorn to Gemini, Sagittarius. So there's a lot of different things that can happen. And historically, there's been a lot of events that have been associated with that. September 11th is actually something that happened just before the last time that the lunar nodes changed from Cancer, Capricorn to Gemini, Sagittarius. So this is your opposites on the zodiac wheel. What you're going to find is July 1st, Saturn is back in Capricorn. So depending on how much work you were doing with Saturn, which is the teacher planet, if you were paying attention to all the lessons that Saturn has been providing to you over the last 2 years, then you are likely to get some pretty sweet gifts, starting from July and continuing on through December. Now, the one thing is, though, is that Saturn is probably going to put you through a few tests beforehand because Saturn is retrograde. So this is why it's moving back into Capricorn for a little bit before it leaves you entirely for another, is it 24, 25 years, something like that. So I hope I have that right. If I don't, my apologies. As I've said many times, I'm not an astrologer. I just like to kind of check it out. And I find it very helpful. So Capricorn also in tandem with this Mercury retrograde, because you're going to be experiencing this Mercury retrograde, the peak of it, as Saturn is moving back into your sign. So chances are you're going to get some important lessons around relationships or gifts. So let's see what the cards have for you for July and see if it can bring any more clarity to the context of the astrological themes. All right, so I'm going to pull all the cards first and then I'll read the whole story. I kind of improvise and do things a little different for everybody just based on how I'm feeling. So, and that's what feels right this time around. Oh, but you know, the occasional one pops up. Celebration coming up soon in your short-term outcome. Oh, there we go. Oh, there it is. That one, and one more. And let's see what the story is. Well, it ends well with the Ten of Pentacles. So, solid family support, foundation, reinforcement. So it looks as though you've been doing the work, Capricorn, that Saturn has been putting you through for the last 2 years. Looks like you're about to graduate and move forward on fire. But, you know, careful. This too could be talking about some player energy that's around you. It could also signify that a fire sign is heading towards you very quickly. So let's get to the center of your reading. I swear to God, these are general readings, but they're all about love. Crazy, huh? So you have the Lovers at the center of your reading, but that coincides, obviously, with Mercury retrograde in your 7th house of relationships. So what's your obstacle? The King of Cups. So this could be Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. This is a person who is normally emotionally available, but perhaps they're not right now. And so let's see what the foundation is. The Sun. So there could be a Leo involved in your situation. The King of Cups could be you as well. You could be completely allowing your heart to be fully exposed, which is admirable. But is it wise? I mean, you seem to be happy, but this openness, this emotional openness is your obstacle. So in the past, something happened really fast, okay? You got some communication from someone, possibly a Leo, possibly a fire sign, someone who you know, is impetuous, who moves maybe a little too fast. Yeah, and this speed at which this person is moving is causing you to lay the law down. It's like, enough. That's the impression that I'm getting. Enough. And so once you've said this enough thing, then you go and you have a celebration. Maybe you party with friends. Yeah, because you're pissed. You know, Knight of Swords. Oops. Bend my cards. Knight of Swords and the Tower as you are the Tower. So I really think that you laying the law down, saying enough, maybe as a result of you being a little bit too vulnerable. And so your response is, yeah, because, you know, whatever is around you is way too confusing. And it could be that the person that you're involved with has like way too many options, or is very confused about your behavior. Yeah, you are afraid of being taken for granted. And that may be what you've said enough to. It's like, enough. And by all accounts, Capricorn, it looks as though this is exactly what you were supposed to do in order to get the outcome that you deserve, which is a solid foundation where you feel supported by the people around you and by your family. You know, that really, the only people you should be this vulnerable with are people who are worthy of being a part of your family. Truly worthy. So let's get a few more clarifying cards and see if we can suss this out a little bit. Oh, okay. So to clarify the Lovers, we've got the Three of Pentacles. So, you could be working with this person, as well as having a relationship with them, a lover on the job kind of deal. Yeah, and, you've had to be really cool about it, and, you've had to be patient. Could be a Sagittarius in your situation as well. So let's get some clarification on the King of Cups here. King of Cups, passionate. Let's see what else we get. And the King of Cups. Okay, so you could have a water sign somewhere that you feel passion for, but for some reason they're an obstacle. But it's like a new passion. But it's like, it's a vulnerability too. It's like emotionally and sexually available. So let's take a look at the Sun card. Leo, yeah. You could be feeling quite secure with a Leo, or quite happy, actually, and emotionally fulfilled with your family. Let's get another card on that. Yeah, because it's like, whatever it is you've said enough to, this Knight of Swords, is allowing you to trust yourself again in a whole new way. So let's see what this communication was in the past. Yeah, look at that. So it's like you're communicating with someone from the past that you want a reunion with. But what are these harsh words? Oh my God. Like, look. Knight of Swords, Knight of Swords. Wow. Okay, well, let's get one more card on that. So this confrontation, King of Swords. So the King of Swords could be an air sign, which is a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. But the King of Swords is also about clarity around boundaries. And I've been seeing that theme in a lot of readings today. So let's take a look at the Three of Cups. Celebration. Oh my goodness, that's the Tower. That's the Tower, the reunion. You creating the reunion creates a major Tower moment in your community. Like, it's on display. This situation is definitely on display. Whether this was words that you, I'm gonna just keep going with the idea that you're the one who laid the law down. And out of this Tower situation, it's like you're sending a message in a different direction. to someone in quarantine. It's my quarantine card, the Eight of Swords now. Or to someone who has no idea what the situation is. High Priestess. So your intuition is what's leading you to send this message. Yeah, because in your environment, you know, or this person who's on the receiving end of this message, they're just like way too confused. And they're feeling very much on the outside of things. Their endurance is being tested. They're tired. They're really, really tired. And there we have it, the Judgment card. Did we have the Judgment card come up for you yet? No. Okay, so it could be a Scorpio. And, you know, or like a decision, like a final decision on something has been made. And where are we going with the Four Cups? The Hangman. So it's like a lack of appreciation. This is like not being appreciated, and this person or the dynamic that's, you know, a bit of a, you know, a bit of a fear for you is, you know, will they ever make up their mind? You know? So let's see what the Ten of Pentacles is here. And yeah, you, with your family, you have everything. And when you stay around that vibration where you have everything, it's going to translate into other areas of your life as well. But you have to defend it. Because you are the King of Pentacles. So, Capricorn, I'm going to dive into this a little bit deeper. Take a look maybe more at the past circumstances that brought you into this situation. Maybe even get a little bit more clarity around the confrontation and where things are headed from there. And whatever other insights that I can possibly glean for you, I am happy to do. The link is down below to my Patreon site. If you get a subscription, you get access to all extended readings. And I will have more and more information and astrological insights to help guide you as you work through your stuff. So join me again. Thank you so much for your support. If you did find that this reading resonated, please remember to share, like, and subscribe. I am so grateful. Thank you so much, Capricorn. We'll see you again. But, you know, like, seriously, how long are you going to avoid whatever is being presented to you? You know, this sort of... So what else is happening with you, Mr. Tower? Mrs. Tower? Yeah, you're walking away.